God, I'm just so tired of it. The Young Turks, MTV, and Steve Shives. You guys are like some kind of shit factory. I'm tired of it. So let's try something refreshing, shall we? Ooh, what do we have here? Kind of a Renaissance man of sorts. Music and vlogs and even weapon testing. This might be interesting. Show me what you got.
We're gonna throw a few rocks, different types, on a piece of plywood, 1 centimeter thick, and we'll see if it has any effect.
Okay, I guess weapon channels have to start somewhere, right? What else you got? Huh. Alright, that's not really my thing, but, okie day. Kinda like a free jam session. I can dig.
I know perfectly well what atheism is.
Alright, I'll vlog. Now we're getting somewhere. Tell me what's on your mind.
But do atheists know what a god is?
Usually some type of omniscient being who supposedly created a bunch of shit and gets to tell you what to do and what not to do. That's about right, right? Right?
I wanted to show with my last video that people reject Christianity because they are too intelligent to believe in that crap.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I was born into a Christian family, and as I got older, around the age of 7, I realized it kind of made no sense.
But in the process, they throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Oh, okay. So I'm too smart to engage in something like Christianity, but far too dumb and pedestrian to understand your religion, is that it?
And start to reject all religions and to think of all gods as being identical to the Jewish god of Christianity.
You seem to be under the impression that I disregard all forms of spirituality just because Christianity didn't work out for me. Like I'm some kind of scorned lover. Well, let's put my little brain to the test. I hope I don't hurt myself. Do I consider Christianity to be just like all other religions? No, I don't. Why would I? Some religions are actually really out there, even fascinating. Vastly different doesn't begin to compare them. I mean, we're talking about the difference between God using a clapper to turn on the sun and the world being born on a turtle. So I would appreciate it if you don't conflate me with someone who doesn't understand anything about the nuance of religion, and in my infinite generosity, I won't compare you to a camo-wearing hillbilly. Sounds fair, right?
So, the atheists reject all deities without knowing anything about other deities than the Hebrew deity of Christianity.
What? No. I reject all religions that make ridiculous claims. For instance, the Earth is flat, since, we know the Earth isn't flat anymore. And don't worry, flat earthers, I'll get to you soon. So, things like the Earth is flat, the world was born on the back of a turtle, etc. and so forth. These things are easy to reject, especially when they're considered dogma within these religions.
Which is a little bit like having a Fiat and thinking that all cars are crap only because your Fiat is crap.
Now hold on there, partner. Am I to assume, based on your note there, that, by this analogy, Christianity might be one of the best religions you ever owned, listened to, worshipped? Whatever, it's your analogy, and you're the one who likes the Fiat. Fuck.
You really need to learn a little bit more about what a god is before you start rejecting them.
Well, sure, I suppose, but only to a degree. Like we said before, if you make certain claims about your religion, things that are required for the religion to work, and we know that those are false, I can usually dismiss your religion fairly quickly. Like if my friend was like, let's go ride that airplane, but then I looked at the airplane and the airplane didn't have wings, I would be like, no, let's not fly that airplane because that airplane can't fly. He's not going to be like, hey, you haven't been on that airplane, you don't know it can't fly. I know airplanes need wings to fly, and without those wings, I'm not getting on the goddamn airplane. So when the foundation of your religion doesn't hold up to scrutiny, you can't blame me if I'm not on board with that.
And as is very evident from the common field, there are a lot of atheists who have no idea what a god is, other than this Hebrew fictional deity of the desert.
Now, I notice you're not providing any type of evidence for your religion. In your videos, you mostly talk about things like traditions and proper ways to approach things, etiquette even. But none of that is actually supporting the idea that your religion is a true one, or the right one, as it were. You seem to want to sell me on it without actually selling me on it. You seem to want to say, those are false, but mine is real. I'm not going to tell you why mine is real, but don't worry, because we have a lot of really cool traditions. That's just what I picked up from your videos anyways. Now, to be fair, maybe I have you pegged all wrong. Maybe that's a possibility. So, do you not believe in the Norse and pagan creation myths? Do you not believe in them? Am I just completely wrong about you? But if you don't believe in those, how can you believe in the rest of the mythology?
Another thing I wanted to say with that video about atheism was that turning to atheism is probably a very natural step to take, or a logical step to take, if you have been Christian.
Yes and no. I would say it's a very logical step to take. I would not say it's a natural step to take. Humans are very prone to belief systems, not just with religion, but even things like politics, ideologies. Ideologies are a huge problem with modern society. Religion might have been strongly related to our every decision back in the day, but now our society focuses more on things like political and personal ideologies, which are strictly speaking not all that logical.
However, it's just a step in the right direction. It's not a goal in itself.
That actually is kind of an interesting way to put it. I would argue that becoming more skeptical and more critical about the way you think of things is an important step. But somehow I get the feeling you're not going to satisfy me where you're taking this. Don't leave me with the blue balls now.
It's a dead end if you don't take the next step, which is to return to your own roots.
Wait, let me get this right. You want to cure tradition with tradition. Before you said we were moving in the correct direction, by questioning and ultimately leaving Christianity. If you think that your spirituality is in that same direction, kind of wonder if you get lost an awful lot. Now I suppose I haven't seen a tree thrive without roots. But then again, I also haven't seen a tree smile or recite poetry. See, personally, I would like to think of mankind as more than just a forest.
And regarding the this scientific view that atheists seem to think they have, that's a lot of crap.
Science. Sir, I'm not a doctor, I just play one in bed. But seriously, it's not so much that I believe that there's absolutely no chance that there's any form of God out there. But based on the evidence I've seen from any religion, I just have no reason to believe in one.
Atheists, just like everybody else, just like all other zealots and fanatics and religious people, they falsify evidence, they ignore evidence, they fabricate evidence, and they do that in particular when they come up against evidence proving them wrong. So I don't buy this idea that atheists are so much better and so much more scientific, when all evidence proves that they are not.
What? Okay, you're saying you have scientific evidence proving me wrong and your position correct. And if that's the case, let me in on it, bro. If your gods are the real ones and you have scientific proof of that, don't hold out on me. Because I'll be the first one to grab a shield and be right there with you. Swearsies.
So Christians hijacked our festivals and our values, our traditions and so forth, and told you that these are Christian.
Yeah, but at least they gave us Christmas. And who doesn't love Christmas? Honestly though, that's how you win the culture war. You don't absorb it, you change it. That's why feminism tried to take over gaming instead of just, making their own games. Because you have to change alien culture to be more familiar, more controllable.
And when you reject Christianity, wisely, then you reject the traditions of your forebears as well. Their values, their high festivals, their traditions, everything.
Listen, buddy, you're gonna have to help me out here a bit. I'm not sure I understand what makes the traditions of my forefathers any better than the crazy traditions of the modern people. Tradition, in and of itself, is not a reason to believe something. And yet, this seems to be your evidence in a lot of your videos.
And that's called throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
Makucha! You're no better than the chemtrail people. You would deny realities in favor of your narrative, of your imagination. And that's too bad. I assure you, sir, there is no baby in that muddy, murky water.
Yes, I do equate atheism with nihilism, because it's basically the same. And if you had known what a god is, you'd agree with me.
It is my experience that the atheistic are the least likely to be nihilistic. You see, we have an understanding that we only get this one life, whereas other people believe in things like heaven, or in your case, reincarnation. We don't have those kind of safety nets. So if we only get this one life to live, we tend to try and make it mean something. We don't have the easy out of, well, better off next time. Hope I don't come back as a cockroach. Boy, I do love dolphins, I hope I get to come back as one of them. Or, I hear heaven is nice this time of year. Nope, this is what we got. In fact, it's the nihilism of religion itself that leads to things like suicide bombers, don't you think?
As I see it, one of the problems with atheists, or with most atheists, not all of them, is that they reject the idea of gods so strongly that they close their mind to everything. And
you have a note there that says, how many times have you heard them say, all religion is shit? And to that I respond simply, show me one that isn't. Mind you, I have certain qualifications for a not shit religion, and that tends to be things like, oh, they didn't lie to me. You see, I've got this big thing where I don't like being lied to. So when you throw in mythology and try to tell me that this is real, I get a little bit upset, and I might start thinking that your belief system is absolute shit. But maybe that's just me.
they do this because they know this one single fictional Hebrew deity of Christianity. So they close their minds and,
You know, to be frank, I think you're just making excuses now. Nobody will believe in your system of beliefs, because Christianity has just made them jaded. Is that what it all sums up to? I don't deny your religion because of Christianity. I deny religion because I find it wanting.
The worst blind is he who does want to see. The worst deaf is the one who doesn't want to hear.
What? I even turned on closed captions, and I don't know what the fuck you just said. At any rate, though, I'm really a permissive guy. You can believe more or less whatever you want. If Flying Spaghetti Monster is your kind of thing, then eat up. Bon appetit. The problem comes when you try to tell me that I'm wrong and try to lecture me on it. At that point, we're gonna have a problem.
If you still don't get it, if you still don't understand what a god is, then maybe a Deus Ex Machina will show up and help you.
And you know what? It's that very trap that I won't fall into. Because when the cards are down, I won't expect magic or miracles. Well, maybe except one trick. I can pull a lady's smile out of thin air. Giggity. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Frankly, his channel has a lot of interesting material I might come to at another time. And, ladies and gentlemen, like I said before, I'm a permissive guy. You can believe what you want. But for the love of God, do not in a single breath call me dishonest and then lecture me using fantasy. I don't appreciate it. Goodbye, everyone. Hey, everyone. If you like that show, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want me to make more content, hit the subscribe button. That way I know I'm just not, singing to an empty theater, that kind of thing. Goodbye.